Hi ladies, today we're gonna go into my kitchen and we're gonna make an absolutely delicious salad. Fresh and healthy and fabulous. I love eating healthy food. That is what I really do on a daily basis, all year round. I always avoid preservatives. I stay away from sugar as much as possible. I shop on the exterior parts of the supermarket so that I get things that are fresh and good for me. Today, I actually got most of what's in here out of my garden. Tomatoes and basil, I put a little mint in there, and then I just kind of amped it up a little bit by adding some cucumbers and some feta. But I will go into all of that, how you can customize the salad to make it absolutely chef's kiss perfection for you. So welcome to my kitchen, ladies, and let's get making the easiest salad and, should I add, just about the most delicious salad you're ever gonna taste. So let's get going. The best thing about summer is that there are so many fresh, good vegetables available to us. I happen to grow tomatoes, basil, and mint in my garden. So I just love making recipes that include things that I can just get right out of my garden. Of course, you can easily go to your farmer's market and just get all this stuff nice and fresh. You don't have to grow it in your backyard. In fact, I have the tiniest little backyard. I barely have a backyard, but I just really love growing a little something that I can eat. So it just makes me happy to be able to eat the food that I have grown. My number one thing in life is that I want to live longer. I don't want to die longer. I want to grow old, but I want to grow old as healthy as I possibly can. I don't want my last years to be full of disease and sickness. So I am doing everything I can to avoid preservatives, cut preservatives out of your lives, ladies. Get rid of sugar. It's just not worth it. Think about the amount of time you spend eating and then how you feel after and how long that lasts compared to that moment that that sugar hits your mouth. It's just not worth it. And it's addictive. So let's avoid sugar as much as possible and let's just stick to really healthy, delicious food. It's just tomatoes, basil, you don't even have to put mint. I put mint because first of all, my garden is overflowing with mint and I love mint. It just makes every salad that I make, I throw mint into every single salad because it just gives it a sweetness and it helps digestion. So I love throwing mint in. If I want to add some things after, I can put in maybe mozzarella. I can put in feta. I could add some cucumbers and make it more of a Greek salad. And then the dressing, equal amounts of olive oil and balsamic vinegar. When getting balsamic vinegar, read the ingredients. Make sure there's no sugar, make sure there's no additives. Just be sure that it is organic wine vinegar and organic cooked grape must. That's all you need in your balsamic vinegar. And then salt, I am a saltaholic. Yes, my name is Carolyn Madrinkian and I am a saltaholic. But since I have switched to really good salt, you don't want to just be eating table salt. I used to eat that Redmond's sea salt, but I have upped my salt quality intake, and because of that, my body craves less salt because we need salt. With everything that they tell you now, keep salt out of your diet. You shouldn't. You need salt in your diet. You just don't need that iodine table salt. There's no nutrition in that. There's nutrition if you get a good quality sea salt. And then pepper. All pepper is not created equal either. And this pepper, my husband found it for me and it's so good. So I will see if I can see where he gets it from and try and link that for you. But just adding the good types of seasoning is just gonna make your food so much more delicious. I take it out of there and I just put it in a little pepper shaker thing to make it easier. So let's get started. It's the easiest salad in the entire world to make. We're just gonna slice the tomatoes. We are going to put the salt and let it marinate. and then we will add the dressing after, and then we will add the rest of it. So let's just get started with slicing the tomatoes. You can use regular tomatoes if you want. You don't have to use the cherry tomatoes. I just like it because I just slice them in two, and you don't have to make it ahead of time, but it's nice to make it a little bit ahead of time just so that the tomatoes can have a chance to marinate, and then all the flavors come together and just makes it more delicious. I just think anytime that you can leave something marinate, just even if it's just 20 minutes, that's really all that it would really take. It just brings the flavors out, those natural, delicious flavors. So I watched a podcast this week, and it was with this woman who tells you how many Mondays you have left in your life. So she talks about death. She said, this is not a subject most people want to talk about, but we're all dying. Like outside of Brian Johnson, do you guys know Brian Johnson? He might be the only one that's never gonna die, but the rest of us, we're all gonna die. So it's not a morbid, I'll try to link that podcast. It's a YouTube video too. I'll link it. It was just so motivating. You would think death would be down and depressing. It's just motivating. It's like, carpe diem, it's like YOLO, it's like let's just live the life that we have. Every minute matters. You should not spend any of your time regretting, or she said something, there's pre-gret. So regret, it's done, it's over with, what are you gonna do? Pre-gret is things, think about, like make a list of things that maybe you wanna do, that maybe at the end of your life you would think of and say, oh, why did I do that? So think about that now so that when it comes to the end, you will have done it and there will be no regret because you pre-gretted it and you thought about it ahead of time and then you did it. And there's just nothing that smells better than fresh cut herbs. It is just the best smell in the world. There's a few that are a little bigger and I'm quartering them, so I'm just gonna make them into 4. Oh, there's Penelope, she's not in my arms. She's really been struggling. Penelope is my dog, by the way. So she's my little Maltese, and she's been struggling about 1.5 years with Alzheimer's. Mostly, well, it started with night timers where she would wander all night long and just cry and get lost and just sit and cry in my face, and she scratches my head. I'll wake up with her literally sitting on top of my head. So it's been a challenge to get a good night's sleep. And that is the other most important thing in our life, is a good night's sleep. There's just so many years that have passed that I have not been getting a good night's sleep, but I put so much effort into it to just ensure a good night's sleep. So even though Penelope wakes me up a lot during the night, I still get a better sleep than I would if I wasn't taking all those precautions. So normally, if I was working around doing anything, because she can never not have me holding her, I have this little, you know, it's not a backpack, but a front pack. You know how they carry babies around, but it's made for dogs. So I would have this here and she just snuggles right in there, and then I'm hands-free and I can do whatever I need to do, housework, cook, whatever. She just snuggles right in. So give me a second. I'm gonna have to see if maybe she can go see her daddy right now. Okay, Penelope is snuggled with her daddy. She won't like that, but she'll have to take it. So the tomatoes are all sliced, mostly in half. A few of the bigger ones, I did quarter them. And now I'm just going to add my Baja Gold sea salt. I would say probably 1/4 teaspoon is gonna do the trick. I really am not gonna measure it, but I do find that with this, it goes a long ways. You would use less than if you use like regular table salt. Also marinate it with the pepper, and probably the same, about 1/4 teaspoon of the pepper. But I mean, it's to your taste. I mean, I actually like a lot of pepper, and this pepper is so delicious. And I'm just gonna let that marinate for about 10 minutes. Then I'm gonna put on the dressing, and let it marinate some more. So I'll just set that aside. Now all I have to do is chop up my shallots. I have 2 of these that I'm gonna put in there, and just 2 shallots, and that will do the trick. So I would say probably maybe 1/4 of a cup of mint and maybe 1/2 cup of basil. So now for this, I'm just gonna take a nice big knife and I'm just gonna sort of slice it. I don't want it super cut up, but I want it a little sliced. And I'm just gonna put this to the side for a minute, and then I'm gonna make the dressing. So if I just put 1/4 of a cup of olive oil, 1/4 of a cup of balsamic vinegar. And if you wanna add other spices to the salad, like oregano, that would be really good too. And now I'm just gonna drizzle that all over it. So I don't have any cucumbers in my garden, but in the past I have grown cucumbers, and it's again satisfying to be able to eat your own cucumbers. But this one I bought, and I'm just gonna slice it up. I'm gonna add it to my salad, and it'll make it more like a Greek salad. And then I think I'm gonna put some feta in there. So our salad has been sitting here and marinating for about 20 minutes. So now I'm going to add in the basil and mint, and I'm gonna add in the feta. I've been letting the salad marinate at room temperature. So once I do put everything back in there, then I'll put it back in the fridge. Flavors can blend together, and then probably half an hour, it'll be ready to eat. So I get my feta in like a block like this. It's actually the Whole Foods brand. So I would probably break off just a chunk like that and just crumble it in. But there's no amount that you have to put. It's not like baking. That's the fun part about cooking, is you can just really tailor it to what your tastes are. And now I'm just gonna drop in my mint and my basil. I know I'm eating healthy food, but I do not ever compromise on taste. Ladies, I wanna live longer, I wanna live healthy, I want to enjoy my life, which is why I will never, ever sacrifice taste when it comes to my food. I love eating so much. So now comes my absolute favorite part, and that is tasting it. I know that it's gonna be delicious, and I feel bad tasting it in front of you guys, but you know what? It's so easy for you to make yourselves. You can just go do this in a minute. So this is what it looks like. It's been chilling in the fridge, and the smell of those fresh herbs is so delightful. It's such a burst of flavors. So simple, but so full of flavor. You guys have got to go make this. It screams summer. It's the perfect summer salad because it's light and refreshing. So I suggest you go give this a try. You will not regret it, ladies. I promise you, it is so good. And your body will thank you too. So that's it for today. I am so glad you came and hung out with me. Cooking is a lonely thing, so I love it when my girlfriends hang out with me when I do it. So go and have an amazing, fabulous day. I love you guys so much. Bye.